So, it's me, your little boy, K. Samson. So, I have this message to give us today. Choosing ones, why you suffer with the most. You know, this message is going to build your strength. It's going to let you know that your suffering is not a cause. Let me tell you, there was a parable that my dad used to give me. Those days when I was a kid, I used to follow my dad to farming, cotton, cultivating, brushing farm and all those stuff. My dad used to tell me the larger the farmland, the greater the product. The better the maintenance you give, the useful the product may be. Meaning that the amount of how would I put it, the size of the land determine how many product you will put. But that will not determine how many how many product you will get from the land. But the larger the land, the larger the quantity of the crop you will plant. That is what my dad used to tell me. Those days, I used to tell my dad, this farm is too big. Let's cultivate a little farm big land so that we will not stress ourselves. We will just work little. Look at Mr. Samson. It is better we cultivate big and plant many things so that tomorrow we will not lack with nothing. So if you are a choosing one, and today it looks like things are hard around you, it looks like you are facing difficulties, it looks like things are not moving the way you expected, this particular video is made for you. Believe me, the higher the pain, the greater the success. It can be changed. It can be divided. Because if today now we said, oh, it's not about how much work you do. It's not about how much pain, how much suffering you do that will determine how successful you be. Let me tell you, if you are that kind of person that you work 2 hours work and you are satisfied with it, you are living the good life. Think about it. If you put 4 hours on top of that 2 hours you are working, it becomes 6 hours. You will understand that something meaningful, more meaningful will come out, either monthly or daily. So what do I mean is this? Your suffering is not by mistake. It is God's ways of building you choosing ones. Yes, believe me, because he has an expectation ahead of that suffering. Look at the life of David, how he was humiliated, abandoned, lived in the bush, but it was the test that he get from bills, that he was able to keep bills, that give him the courage, and with the boldness that he believed that if God can use him to kill the bill that come to attack his sheep, God can also use him to kill Goliath. So you are confronting delay, obstacle, things are not going well, or it look like your business, your marriage, your relationship, your career, your school, etc. So many of them in different angles. It look like things are not moving the way you expect it. That is not a problem. That is not a problem, and that cannot be a problem. So all I'm here to tell you is that God has something big for you. It's not too late for you to understand that greater things are made for those who suffer the most. Yes, believe me. That is why I urge you, no matter what you are going through, people will laugh at you the way they did to Esther. People will leave you the way they did to David. People will abandon you the way they abandoned with Joseph. But at the end, you will come to understand that greater things are made for people who suffer the most. It does not matter how many people who rejected you or who called you all sorts of names. It does not matter how many people out there who don't understand what God has for you or where you are right now. It does not matter how many people who counted you out or who rejected you or who forgot you or who promised and failed you the way they did in the old. But the truth is this: the higher the suffering, the higher the blessing. You get what I'm saying? That is why any position you are today, be what be great, be what be gratitude, have gratitude towards it, be grateful towards it, be appreciative towards it. Yes, I know it's painful when everyone reject you, when it look like the suffering have no end, when it look like you keep suffering, but yet you are a Christian. You keep suffering, but yet God have called you. But believe me, God call you does not mean He will not allow storm to come around you, because He wants you to be built by the storm. He wants you to do what? To master the storm. He wants you to master the pain. He wants you to master this so that in future to come, you said, yes, I made it. So that in future to come, you said, yes, I did it. All glory be to God. So my brothers, my chosen ones, don't think it's a cost. Don't think you have made the wasted mistake of accepting whom you are or believing in yourself, because God have greater things for you. Remain blessed. Your suffering is not in vain. It is for your greatness and for your open door. May God bless you. Remain blessed.